I found that part that I promised about how to know that you're chosen, so here it is. It's from author David Bayer, so all credits to him. But if someone didn't watch his video, here is everything. So it's called Chosen, and these are latest additions to my work, but as you saw, I have hundreds and thousands of things like this that I gathered from more than 10, 15 years of doing the inner work. So here it is, David Bayer's How to Know That You're Chosen. And it literally goes, I have written every single word of him. It begins with wondering whether you had that feeling that you were meant for something more. Most people have it, but unfortunately they shut that down and think that it's just imagination and that they are not capable for something that they think is so far from them. But as I said, as long as you're feeling separation with any desire, what do you expect? It's like that saying, when you manifest everything, when you stop trying to manifest, when it's natural and feels like birthright, that's when the shift is happening. So I've written his 7 signs, unmistakable signs, as he said, that you are chosen for greater purpose. Every single soul has purpose. I've mentioned many times, soul is subconscious, soul is purpose. So follow soul, ignore what mind is telling you. Ignore. If I were listening my mind, I would never come here and spread the word, because my mind was, you're too old, people won't listen, who are you, you have zero academic knowledge, blah 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 blah. I am assigned from the greatest power, from God himself, and I have zero doubts in that, because he showed me how to observe less, imagine more, how to ignore my reality when I was facing autoimmune disease, when I was facing death, when I was going through pain and suffering that I couldn't even imagine that exists. So who gave me certificate, diploma, or call it whatever you want? Who assigned me the power that has weapons humans only can dream about? So hold on to that, ignore the normies. Sign number 1. You experienced extreme challenges in your childhood and through your life. Most people think that those challenges and traumas are a reason why they are not meant for greatness, as I used to think. I mentioned that in previous recording. I was deeply ashamed and I was feeling less than because I went through those experiences. Because I watched, I never envied, but I watched other people living their life to the fullest, enjoying in health, in good goods, all goods of life, in high quality life. And there I was, effed up in every sense and meaning. And I was deeply ashamed, and I was deeply literally down on myself as much as I could, because I thought something's probably wrong with me, or I'm cursed, or God knows what I was thinking back then. But you see, traumas and obstacles are the reason why you are meant for greatness. So it's not that something wrong with you and that others figured it out and you haven't. It's opposite. Trauma and challenges are seed for greatness. Everyone who built something meaningful went through, and I am not saying here and bragging how my problems and my challenges were the hardest. No, I mean, I'm completely aware that people go through tremendous losses, God forbid, loss of child, complete families wiped up from the face of earth in traffic. You saw those earthquakes where literally entire cities disappeared in a blink of an eye. I'm aware of that, but I'm just saying, what separates and make you person who is holding vessel of greatness is not allowing that to discourage you. Pick yourself up, give yourself time, feel it and release it. That's the emotional intelligence. I used to identify with the feeling and feel awful when it has its grip upon me. But now when I know the true definition of emotional intelligence, and that is, you feel it, you name it. You have to be aware to name the emotion. What are you feeling at the moment? If it's unpleasant, you accept it and then you release it. That's how you are not in mercy and in chains of unwanted feelings. You must be aware. And that's why we are here expanding our awareness. We are here expanding our awareness, guys. Stop being in the mercy of your emotions. And why money is good and why you should have money, that word mercy brought me to one thought that I lost in, I think, 5 videos before I wanted to share that, and I forgot, and here is it came true. When you are broke, you are in the mercy of the people who have money. And when you are in the mercy of those who have money, you are not capable to make decisions. Many times I wondered before, I must be stupid because I know many who are not so, let's say, smart or intelligent, and they are making big fat money on autopilot like it's breath and air that they're breathing. No wondering and no pondering every morning whether or not their needs will be met. Why? Key to every manifestation is to see everything that you want as normal. How normal? As the air you are breathing. Whether it's love, health, money, success, beauty, identity shifting. See it as normal as the air you are breathing. You're not waking up every morning and wondering whether or not you will have enough air. So that approach you have to embody and root deeply inside, and to go through this journey with that conviction that all your needs are met with grace and ease, with no exception. From where? From the power greater than you could ever imagine, that supplies all this on this rock spinning in God knows where. So one of my favorite affirmations, which seemed so far and disconnected from what I was affirming until I did the identity shift, and now I feel it and I live it, is I'm God's highest form of creation, and it is natural for my identity to be doing well in all areas of my life. So you see how this resonates, how this doesn't make separation and doesn't feel odd or strange or far from what I'm saying. So I'm saying it and I'm feeling it and I'm living it. I am God's highest form of creation, and it's natural for my identity to be doing well in all areas of my life. Until you accept this, if you have any blockage or resistance or limitation, just repeat and affirm until you feel it. I cast all my burdens on Christ within. I cast all my burdens on Christ within. If you have challenge, problem, or anything, don't pray to be solved. Give thanks in advance. That's how you delete that loop and that barrier between unwanted and wanted. So, for example, you have some challenge, and this is what you should think and affirm. Thank you for showing me how this is already solved. Thank you for showing me today how this has already been solved. So back to David Bayer's 7 proofs about why you are chosen. You've been given a burden to carry so that you, at some point in time, are ready to transform or put that burden that you carried down. Every trauma and every obstacle you had was resistance training for greatness. Through carrying that burden, in my case for decades, I developed the strength, the quality of character to actually become the person who can fulfill the mission I was assigned, and everyone has been given and was assigned with the mission. What do people do? As I say, the inner work is the hardest work, because you are always facing your darkest fears, your shadows. That's why people are running away from integration. It's easier to entertain yourself through escapism, through shopping, through, I don't know, numbing yourself with substances, through spending time in some irrelevant activities, than to face your shadows and become integrated. But when you do that, that's why you are chosen. Not everyone has been given chance and opportunity, but people are going like crazy, like chickens without head, all over around, because they are scared and afraid. All the blessings that you want and desire are on the other side of fear. Fear and faith are the same forces of two faces of one coin. What you put attention on, you will experience more. So, same force, fear and faith. You choose. For example, he is explaining, growing up in unsafe childhood, like I did, filled with criticism, chaos, will give you later on the capacity to make awesome something like reading the room. The seed for who you are and who you became later on, if you go through that turning point, is that you become the greatest version of you out of that trauma that you've experienced. We live, as he says, in trauma-based environments, and trauma is part of the equation. When you want to and learn how to transform the trauma, you are able to achieve the mission. All your traumas and abuses were set up by the system to accomplish something great. So hold on. Sign number 2. You may grown up without God in your life, or that relationship was distorted, or nobody explained you really what God is and how powerful He is and how to work on your personal relationship with God. He says and explains that this usually happens through some event and circumstances when you, between the age of 30 and 50, are brought to your knees or to some challenge that you are not able to override or overcome your own. So you must re-establish your personal relationship with God. And he says, I like this part a lot, that being brought to your knees is awesome situation. Why? Because you're already down. You have nowhere more down to go, and the only way to look is up through the power that made you. It's the realization that alone you are nothing, and with God you can be, do, and have anything and everything you want. So that's the feeling of knowing. And if someone asks you, how do you know? How are you so certain, sure? You just feel it. You don't know how you know, but you know. Your personal relationship with the higher power wants to be relationship by choice, not relationship by inheritance. And in a sense, this is why you have to go through all of this, so that you can, in most sincere and most honest way, re-establish your connection with God. Sign number 3. You have unique superpower. This is also awesome, because every one of us has something that we are very powerful at. For me, my friends and those who know me always say that I am someone who makes them feel good only with my voice. I'm giving them soothing, pleasant feeling of everything is fine, all is okay, that they're good and they're safe. For others, that might be, I don't know, they're good with children. That's also one of mine. So what comes naturally for you and what you do better than everyone else are your natural gifts that you came into this world having, and you should work on them and share them with the world. Those gifts were meant to be put to work towards your chosen mission. This is mine. I just know it. I feel it. The superpower or gift that you have is the tool that you will use to carve and channel your mission in the world. Of course, that you have all that you need because you were chosen before you even came. What else do you want? You were chosen before you even came, and of course that you have everything needed to do it in best possible way. Sign number 4, you have burning desire to become more, and your greatest fear is actually not finding your purpose or fulfillment. Your greatest fear is not becoming your truest version of yourself in this journey. Those who assigned for the mission, and everybody did, but most are ignoring because they are fucked up with limited beliefs and core early age wrong programming that they are not capable or that they can't do it. But those who are still feeling it and doing it fear one thing above anything else, and that is not achieving their full potential. Every book I read, every podcast I watched, everything I learned comes to this sentence. That the greatest and the most unpleasant feeling that any soul can experience is to come at the end of the life and realize what they potentially could be only if they went through that last fear barrier. Because trust me, you need nothing from the outside world, nothing from anyone else, because they, even if they want, they can't give that to you. Only through your connection to God, you become so powerful that you and only you are giving to yourself what you need. The reason why I used to choose emotionally unavailable people is because I haven't received unconditional love when I needed that most. So I was in my childhood in primal state of being, in animal state of being, because I had to, and I was most of the time in fight or flight mode. So when emotionally available person was around me, I wasn't feeling zero attraction toward that person. Why? Because my nervous system got used to being gaslighted, to being emotionally literally manipulated. If I behave good, I'll get this, or I'll earn a little attention if I'm a good girl, and so on and so forth. Until I, through the healing and integration and doing the deep inner work from which most are running away, found the pattern, and now it is painful because through the regression and doing that inner work, I saw myself as a little girl in front of the door of that specific person who is now as my partner emotionally unavailable through their conditioning. I forgave to everybody because they were never, it was never their fault. It was the law, because we attracted each other on that level of resonance. So they were what I represented back then with that old version of me. So through that one regression, I saw myself as a little girl standing in front of the door and waiting whether or not the door will be open and whether or not I will get a little breadcrumb of love from that person, emotionally unavailable. So in relationship, that's presented through, I don't know, communication economy, you waiting on text call, wondering whether or not. Please don't do that. That just means that you are that you were set up with wrong settings early on in your childhood. But when I did the inner work, now instead of standing beside anyone's door, I have my own door, and I always ask my inner child, what you want to do today? Where do you want to go? What can I do to make you feel good? Do you need to sleep? Do you need to eat well? Do you need to relax? Do you want to read book? Do you want to watch some great podcast? Do you want to see your friend? Do you want me to take you on a date? Do you want me to spoil you with something? So guys, it's like completely new reality that now you are painting with your power that radiates with that new powerful and strong version that you always needed when you were a child. It's like you have some magic brush and you are painting everything around you in light and gold. That's the feeling, the closest feeling I can explain. So only count what you attract from that place. Everything before, something's off. So we all have obligation and spiritual responsibility that we assigned before we came to this journey. Sign number 5. Transformation isn't interesting to you, it's necessary. So you are drawn to personal development, as I was obsessed. And even if it might seem normal to you, for most people isn't. Because I said it's not so easy to do the inner work. Majority of people have zero interest in self-discovery, self-exploration, consciousness, their own development. Simply they find something easier to do. They don't want to bother with that. It's some of my friends used to tell me that that's too deep. Well, it is deep, but the question is whether you want to find and live real fulfillment, or you wanna Netflix and chill. That's fine too, also from time to time, but it's not the purpose of this journey. Most people don't spend hours and hours listening to podcasts, as I did, reading books about consciousness, as I did, learning about psychology, as I did, or spirituality, as I did, watching videos about leadership, as I did, hearing healing, neuroscience, human behavior, as I did. Most people don't voluntarily examine their own belief systems, as I did, because I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm the most kindest, most always available to help, to literally I was embodiment of good person, nice person. But later, when I examined beliefs and how I was operating and navigating through this game of life, I realized that me expecting life to be good towards me just because I'm a good person is like expecting that lion today won't eat gazelle or rabbit or I don't know what. Of course it will. Lion doesn't care. that that animal is good. The same is with life. If you expect that life will be good for you just because you're good, you're doomed for life. Yes, live from that place. Life will always reward you, but if you don't expect good and you're always giving good, like I was, completely handicapped to receive, nothing will change, and you will remain good, and others will use that, and end of story. So self-love, self-appreciation, putting yourself first whenever you've been in making a decision and making choice whether or not to disappoint others or yourself. Trust me, disappoint others, no matter who they are. Just never disappoint yourself. They will be angry. It's better them to be angry than you to become sick. And suppressing your needs and suppressing your voice and suppressing your word will eventually cancel you. So speak. As I like, one of my favorite saying is, scream, you survived. That means that you should not be quiet. My own mother used to shut me down to, be quiet. Girls are quiet. What? I'll be quiet when I die. Leave me alone. Sign number 5. That's what we finished. Okay, is there something else I should? Chosen people are awakened and aware. Most never ask, why do I think the way I think? They simply live from their conditioning. But knowing and being available for fact that there is something bigger and greater for you to become, that's something inside of you that refuse to stay unconscious and refuse to play that stupid game that everyone else is playing, just because they won't even ponder and wonder, is there something in the plane of unseen, in spiritual laws. Even when growth is painful. So here we are now to the most important part, why most are avoiding inner work, because they are not capable to push through even when it's painful, even when it costs relationships. I gave up many of those friends who stayed at the part which was my history and didn't do anything. So we are not in the same resonance or frequency as we used to be, and that's fine. Even if it forces you to leave job that was paying good, so that's real chosen person doing and living assigned mission. I checked out all the boxes. Even when you are forced to question everything, checked. Even when you believed something keeps pulling you forward, checked. That's all of that I read previously, as he says, is not normal. And I thought it's normal. I thought that everyone went through it and that everyone is doing the inner work. No, I was wrong. That's just the behavior of chosen person who chosen to live by purpose, to proceed with mission that was assigned to them. So I am chosen. I'm proceeding, no matter what. And I will, as long as I breathe. You don't just want better life, you want transformed life. Checked. That is a very different pursuit. Sign number 6. You've hit the rock bottom in your life many times. First in childhood, then even something more serious through your journey. The bottom is essential. Rock bottom not only forces you to be brought back on your knees, but it forces you to look up, as I said, and find connection with God, higher power, your personal relationship with God. It's also total identity reset. So here you must let go of everything you knew, because you realize that you know nothing, and that's okay. And you are not ashamed of it, and you are vulnerable, and you say, it's okay, let's sit with me and recognize and be aware of the fact that I know nothing, that what I thought I learned was wrong, was someone else's beliefs installed in my software when I knew nothing, when I was 3 or 4 years old. So that's the real identity reset. That's also the death of the ego and all self. That's what brings us to personal development. And don't force it. Wait the moment to be called towards it. This is where you connect with your higher power. Here you are living non-stop from faith, not from fear. Because you know that everything is always working out for you, even if it doesn't seem like it. In that stage, you become an instrument for higher power. I like this, because we are all instruments for higher power. Some are just, when God wants to turn the volume on, they are pressing it off. Don't do that. Allow yourself to be the vehicle for the higher power, instrument for the higher power, higher intelligence in this world. That's what's happened when you step into your purpose fully. You completely surrender your old self and allow intelligence greater than you to work through you and to you. This is the place of ego death. Sign number 7. You can stop looking for meaning. Here, as a chosen, you know deep down inside yourself that nothing is random. Example, yesterday I was with my friend out, and through I can't tell you how many buildings and houses we went by. I've noticed one that has had number 33 on it, and my numbers are 333. That's my forever lucky number. Okay, I acknowledge it, because as I told you recently, I'm no longer looking for signs, but I acknowledge them, because I know that there are breadcrumbs from the universe that I'm on my path, as I always am, but just confirmation. The biggest sign, I am the sign. But I wanted to confirm this 7th sign from David Bayer's video. When we were coming back, on one door I saw number 3. So what's that? On house, when we were going out, I saw 33. When we were coming back, on one door I see 3. So my number's 333. And the most interesting thing, on one shop, little grocery shop, I saw name. That's important for me. So please. But many wouldn't notice it, because they are disconnected and completely unaware. Please pay attention to those breadcrumbs from God and from universe. It will make your journey far, far, far easier. Why do this happen? What is this trying to teach me? What is life asking from me right now? How is this preparing me? What this person, and why is this person drawn to my field? For example, you now, why are you drawn to my field? What am I doing that is continuing to create this pattern? If you still have patterns, many does. Chosen people have different perspective and they ask these different questions. What is this for? How did I create this? And not blaming others. You see the shift. Why is this for? How did I create this? This begins to change everything, because ask and you shall receive. So immediately when you ask more meaningful questions, you receive more meaningful answers. Chosen people ask different and better questions because they taken over responsibilities for their experiences in their lives. Internal experiences, no, internal expresses outwards, and so your internal world always expresses outwards, and you were never the victim of your experiences. They were just trying to inform you of something inside you, to teach you something about the deeper levels of your consciousness. That shift changes everything. Here you know every setback is preparation. You feel on deep level that entire universe is intelligent and is having your back, and you are asking, what is this preparing me for? You are someone who accepted the assignment. Gifts given to you are sign that you are chosen. Every human being is called, but not everyone answers. I like this so much. That's when in one awesome talks from Neil Donald Walsh about his book Conversations with God, series of his books with Conversations with God, someone asked him, does God really speak to us? And it's apart from the book. He says God is always speaking, and then with that voice, it literally was like voice of a God, but the question is, who is listening? Literally, I remember that I had goosebumps. So it was like, oh my God, God is always speaking. The question is, who is listening? And that's this. Every human being has been called, but no one answers. Your life has been all the time preparing you for assignment. Most people wasted and spent their lives waiting for certainty. Some are waiting for permission of others. Some waste and spend it waiting for another sign. This is my sign, because greatest tragedy is spending your entire life ignoring the assignment that you were born to fulfill. And many people are, I think that that's the main reason for addictions, for unhappy journeys, for fear. That's what's messing up with people, because they deep down feel that they should do and act something different, but they are literally ignoring it. And that's kind of sad. The greatest tragedy is spending life ignoring the assignment that God has graciously given to you. The chosen aren't people who God speaks to. The chosen are people finally decided to listen and to answer the call. Time to answer properly everything you don't express becomes the reason that you are depressed. This is, by the way, my manifestation journal, manifestation wind journals. But whenever something, and daily there are many wins, I write it down because I like to celebrate every single win. There is no small or big things. Thinking make it so. Whatever you think it's too big, too important, guess what? You will spend your entire life in being in a place it's too big, it's too important, and you will forever be separated from it. But when you decrease importance and it comes natural or normal for you, whatever it is, when you stop putting things on pedestal and looking them up, they have no other choice but to look down upon you. Change the game, put yourself on a pedestal and see what happens. I hope this was helpful for someone, and I'm glad whoever is part of my field will continue to work on expanding our awareness, will continue celebrating each other's wins. That's the point of this journey, to, even though if we went through cutting our wings, even if those wings were tried to be cut off from those who were closest to you, we will here build a community of souls that decided that it's not over. We are here a community of souls that refuse to accept ordinary. We are here a community that will gift each other with most powerful wings you could ever even imagine, or you couldn't imagine. And sharing our happiness and our fulfillment and our light will only multiply blessings for me and for you. Have an awesome day, and I'll speak to you soon.